Good afternoon, everyone. Respected jury members, faculties, and my dear friends. Myself, Bhagyalakshmi, and I am here to present my BArch thesis topic National School of Drama in Goa. Performing arts is one of the ancient pillar of strength in the world, and I personally, being a performing artist, always dreamed of an institution in India that gave a proper education in performing arts and to uplift its value in the society. Theatre in dramatic arts is an art that concerned almost exclusively with live performances in which the action is precisely planned to create a coherent and significant sense of drama. India is a land of diverse culture and tradition, languages and art forms. Each art form has its own significance that represents the style of a specific region, culture, and history. Among all of these arts, some of them have successfully gained recognition with time, whereas some are still struggling, performing arts being one of those lesser known art forms in the country. These are the various art forms which we can see across India. The project relevance is to uplift the educational quality of theatre arts, generating a common platform for showcasing dramatics, uplifting the lost art form, and maintaining the cultural heritage to bring cultural continuity by bonding society, culture, and dramatics. Hence, my aim is to create a space for a theatre enthusiast by designing a national school of drama by focusing the importance of user experiences through transition of spaces. This is me dedicating an architectural space for drama enthusiasts where each space is expressed in different emotions. To achieve this, I have followed three objectives. One, to design an environment that facilitates exploration of their artistic freedom and talent through an interplay of built and unbuilt spaces by integrating with the context. Two, to incorporate the design with Goa cultural heritage and along with its modern ideas. Three, to rejuvenate the future theatre dramatics and uplift its value that would extend the educational and career scope. For this, I have used the methodology of introduction to the topic, studying about drama background, identifying and studying the techniques, materials, and concept of theatres, analyzing the findings and deriving at aims and objectives. For the brief and design development, identification of site feasibility, site study, and site analysis is considered and analyzed the findings. Then identification of case studies, both live and literature, and analyzing the findings and deriving at a design brief and to the design development. National School of Drama is one of the foremost theatre training institution in India, but we have only two drama schools right now in India. One is at New Delhi and another in Thrissur in Kerala, which intakes only 26 students per year, which is very less. Hence, more centers are required. This provides educational opportunities and employment, provides opportunity to exploration and interaction of various art forms in a common man's life. National School of Drama create a portal for theatre enthusiasts that provide education and exploration in the field of dramatics, artistically and technically. The site feasibility is National School of Drama proposed 5 regional centers across the country to promote the performing arts education. The 5 proposed states were Kolkata, Goa, Mumbai, Jammu and Kashmir, Sikkim, and Tripura. The site I chose for National School of Drama is Goa, as Goa is rich in cultural centers and it is the place which can give dramatics the platform it deserves. It can also get the influence that from the festivals that are happening in Goa, like international film festivals and serendipity art festivals. Moving on to the site. According to the regional plan 2021, Bambalim is going to act as an IT hub as well as an educational center. As per the plan, most of the schools from Panaji and have been shifted in and around Bambalim. Hence, the proposed site is near Goa University. This is the stretch of IT and educational hub. The site is in near Goa University, which is 7 kilometers away from the capital city, Panaji. The site is under the ownership of Goa University. The location is ideal for the National School of Drama as the context include educational institution and residential area and enhances calmness over hectic traffic. These are the other side details. Moving on to next is the land use. This is the proposed site area of land use coming under institutions. The connectivity is from Panaji to Miramar to Donapola and to the proposed site that is near Goa University, and another is from Bambalim to the proposed site in Goa near Goa University. Moving on to the site details. The site has gradual slope which leads to the cliff to Occidental Beach. The view to the cliff is accessible from first floor, and it is a strength to the proposed project. As you can see here comes to the proposed project, the access road, the Goa University buildings, and to the cliff and to the Occidental Beach. These are a few site images. These are few site details. Moving on to the climatic study. It has tropical monsoon, warm and humid climate. General wind direction is from southwest, but also from southeast. The sea breeze is also experienced. The site gets ambient wind and hence proper ventilation should be given while designing. Providing jolly walls in areas with maximum sunlight can control the sunlight and can bring the breeze inside. The soil condition is hard laterite. The site area comes under like 10.1 acres of land. Hard laterite can be used as main building material as well. The site lacks existing vegetation. Condition is moderately flat. Noise level is very low. Odor level is normal. Pollution is minimum since it is located in an isolated area. Factors to be considered: more open space with shades have to be provided. Open class concept should be brought in to like develop the ideas and the user experiences. Earthquake resistant flexible floor spaces have to be provided. Elements from urban design like path, node, views and vistas are to be incorporated in the campus design. The inference includes the site condition is very flexible, the contour is very feeble, hence major portion of the site can be used for built area. The view towards this Arabian Sea can be utilized as views and vistas. Hard laterite from the site can be used as building material. Since the site lacks existing vegetation, landscape design has to be given more importance. Maximum ventilation has to be brought into the site, hence maximum sunlight receiving area can be provided with jali walls. Combination of Goan and contemporary fusion style can be incorporated in the design. These are the strength, weakness and opportunities and threats of the site. Moving on to the next. Taken live case studies are National School of Drama in Delhi to study about the functioning of National School of Drama. Then Kala Academy in Goa to study the context and building relationship as the site is in Goa. Also to understand the Goan architecture elements which can be incorporated into the design. NCPA Mumbai, National Center for the Performing Arts in Mumbai. This is to study the related context but in a different state, and to study about the contemporary interiors or inside, and the spatial analysis as the construction of in this area was this site is happened in different stages. So the disadvantage of negative spaces and interconnectivity between the buildings can be studied. Also, different scales of performing spaces are analyzed through these case studies. Moving on to next case study, live case study, literature case study is Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama in Wales, which is Wales in UK. which is of 3 acres, which is in of 3 acres land. This is to understand the international level and international concept of how a performing space is, or performing arts center and institution is functioning. From all these 4 case studies, I have derived into a comparative analysis. The relevance of study of NSD is the only institute that work under Government of India. This is to understand the function of an NSD. Kala Academy was to understand the location, context, and site factors, which is similar to the proposed site. NCPA Mumbai was to understand the context and understand the different theatre patterns of different scales. Royal Welsh to understand the spaces that are designed in international context and to understand different usage of materials in international level. Through this inference comes the potential space should be utilized maximum, uplifting the importance and educational qualities of dramatics. India has only 2 drama schools with potentials of providing necessary ingredients. From access to the site, the case study site took have multiple entries except for Royal Welsh. Avoiding multiple entry can improve the security, but service and main entrance have to be given separately. Except for Kala Academy, all the other case studies have flat site. The proposed site is flat, and hence major portion of the site can be used for built spaces. Functions, NSD Delhi and NCPA Mumbai are educational and commercial, whereas Kala Academy and Royal Welsh is purely educational. It is ideal to stick to educational alone, but in Goa, since the festivals are happening, it has to be given public access as well. So when it comes to zoning, public, private, and semi-public spaces has to be considered while designing. Moving on to the site planning, NSD have semi-formal planning in courtyard style, but other departments that is not related to School of Drama is also incorporated, which lacks the emphasis of National School of Drama of its own. Kala Academy have an open planning, and it has integrated good balancing of built and unbuilt spaces. NCPA Mumbai has improper planning as it is constructed in different stages, and Royal Wells have formal, closed, and composed planning with which have much interaction to the surrounding. Hence, the inference came to my design is as entrance will be having direct access to the parking and semi-public areas like main theatre and admin block. Academic, yes, admin block. Then to the private zone, that is the academic block. Built and open spaces have to be considered, and it has to be balanced. Landscape has to be given importance since the site lacks existing vegetations, and it also plays an important role in campus designs and in user experience. Moving on to my concept. My idea was to build a National School of Drama with good built and unbuilt space relationship, with a design which incorporate in Goan architecture in contemporary style, and each space should connect like a storyline, and spaces should be created focusing on the artistic freedom. Every space will be representing different dramatic situation by playing it with light, material, and texture. The building and environment should create a dramatic way where an actor and character and the story will be interconnected with the spaces. All the spaces will look disordered, but it actually will be provided with interconnectivity. To play with emotions and artistic freedom, I have used the method of spatial transition. The movement of every user is given importance, and feelings that is experienced by each of them will be obviously different. So moving from a darker space to an open space, then through a narrow to another open area, this creates a sense of movement in each spaces of the user who is experiencing that space. Incorporating Goan culture and architecture by Unique vibrancy and material intricate details and layouts are also provided. For example, illusion arts on walls, courtyard planning, projecting balconies, glass that resembles Goan windows with mother of pearls. Massing is done according to the importance of block, that is, importance is first given to the academic block, then to the performance block, then admin, and then residential area. The movement inside the site is created in such a way that the user experience different hierarchy spaces from narrow to large. Wind is directed towards the site and the site inside the building. Courtyard planning is followed throughout the site. This is the zoning, where zoned semi-public and private zones, academic block to the private, academic and residential block to the private, and admin and performance block to the semi-public. Moving on to the site plan. Main entrance is centralized and followed an axial movement, which ends in the academic block entrance. All spaces are given courtyard planning and enough recreational space that act as not just a recreational space, but also temporary performing spaces as well, which is taken as my special topic. The site area is of 40,468.6 square meter. Total built up area comes to 10,996.78 square meter. Coverage is 16.47 and FAR is 0.27. Moving on to the site section, the horizontal section, it shows the performance block, the cafeteria, the academic block and library, and the central courtyard, which is near the residential area. Locally available laterite stone and concrete block and lawns are used in desired and undesired paths that makes the pedestrian movement friendly. Courtyard plan is incorporated in site as well. The sunken spaces act as a temporary theater space or rehearsal space and also become a centralized courtyard that separates different activities. Also, it gives a spatial transition and movement of spaces from different levels as well. This is the total site and ground floor plan of each block. Moving on to the service sheet. The blue line shows the pedestrian movement, the pink line shows the vehicular movement, the orange line shows the driveways. Softscapes are trees and lawns, and hardscapes are laterite stone pavements, concrete pathways, and courts. Moving on to the building plan. First, academic block plan. Like I said, courtyard planning is followed inside the building as well. This is the main entrance towards a courtyard, which is like a semi-open space, moving on to a closed space, then to a narrow space. This gives the transition of spaces inside the building as well. This ground floor includes academic office, HOD's and principal's room, staff room, and costume, property store, students' common room. This comes to the main entrance of the academic block. This is the space that is given for temporary space, one of the spaces, and openings like this are provided for natural ventilation and light. This is the location of the academic block. Moving on to the first floor. First floor includes rehearsal halls, movement studios, scenic workshop studios, library, and lab with courtyard planning as well, and movement of transition of spaces. These are the jolly walls that is provided to maximize the ventilation but to minimize the sunlight. Academic block and performance block is connected from first floor, second floor to academic, or second floor of academic block to the OAT. It was inspired from the Kala Academy, Goa. Transitional spaces are given throughout the site to help the user experience the spaces differently. Projecting balconies are one of the elements given that is inspired from Goan architecture. Also, it is given in the second floor because the view access to the southern side sea is view of southern side sea is accessible. Also, elements like illusion arts, illusion art on walls are provided, and negative spaces are converted into positive transition spaces so that the user can utilize every space inside the building like this. Moving on to the performance block. Performance block is entered from here to the office and the counter to a very large lobby with courtyard planning. This is the exhibition area, which experience like a loop, and it is entry from here and exiting from here. This is the auditorium, and this is the entrance to the auditorium. Here also it is entering to a large space. Here it is a narrow space and moving through a very large area towards a narrow corridor again, which is including rehearsal hall, black box, property store, etc. This building is incorporated with rehearsal halls because it should not stay idle when nothing is, no event is happening in the auditorium. This area has to be live even if the performances are not happening. Hence, rehearsal halls are given. Also, it is connected to the OAT. OAT is connected from the auditorium, from the ground, auditorium block, from the ground, and also from the second floor of the academic block. These are the few views. This is the entrance, the OAT and connectivity of OAT and academic block, entrance to the courtyards, entrance to the auditorium. Moving on to the admin block. Admin block is also given courtyard planning. It has admin office, accounts records office, dean's office, director's office, and a boardroom for meetings. This is the entrance. Jalis wall like this are provided to maximize the ventilation but minimize the sunlight. As admin block receives sunlight from eastern side, that has to be minimized, but also the southeast ventilation have to be guided inside the building. Moving on to my special topic. Theater spaces does not require a purposefully designed building, but when audience gather regularly to experience a performance, such a spaces required, and then like that only the beginning of theater design happened. In ancient India, there was a system called Devdasi system, where women performing dance performances and dance dramas in the temple, and with this we can relate that a particular space or a building is not required. There we used to perform in mandapas and kutambalams and etc. So what my idea was to create a space which is flexible space, which have multiple activities happening. For example, informal gathering space, theater shows, street shows, outdoor photography, and so on. I've given 6 such spaces. One is the main OAT, one is the mini OAT that acts as a sunken courtyard for 3 buildings. Then the space in front of the academic block, then areas like this, like shaded areas for performing, for rehearsing near the hostel block, then a mini sunken courtyard, another for the hostel residential area, and shaded pavements and areas for temporary practicing and rehearsing. For this, I have taken the case study which is happening right now in USA. Barren land converted to a landscape element, performing space, etc. It is in Flagler Avenue, Homestead in USA. It has kiosk, it has park and performing spaces as well. This is the overall view of the site. Main entrance, performance and admin block, OAT, academic block, hostel block, and other recreational spaces. Moving on to a walkthrough video of the site. Main entrance. This is the main entrance that comes to the admin block. The performance block, temporary parking and security cabin, admin block, the centralized plaza, performance block entrance, the centralized sunken courtyard, that is main courtyard, and the academic block. Towards the OAT. Connection from performance block is through here. The temporary theater, temporary rehearsal space, curtain walls and glass doors, connectivity from academic to audio OAT, entrance to the academic block, projecting balconies, open spaces, open ventilation, open spaces for ventilation. This is the cafeteria below the OAT, main parking area. Jali walls provided. This is a common gathering space for like even to have food and for casual informal space. This is the temporary space near to the academic block. This comes to the residential area. These are the hostel blocks, temporary theater space. Again, landscapes are provided like this. Temporary theater space again. Basketball court. Temporary theater spaces. Second Sangan courtyard. Thank you. Thank you for your time.